Line weight makes objects appear with thick or bold lines. Objects such as lines, arcs, circles, and other geometry can have line weight assigned to them in one of two ways. Objects can have line weight assigned based on the line weight of the layer on which they are created, or an object can simply have a line weight assigned to it. Here we see two lines. Both lines have been created on layer 0. The upper line has its line weight property set to ByLayer. The lower line has its line weight property set to a specific line weight. When an object has its line weight property set to ByLayer, if you change the line weight of that particular layer, the object will automatically change. I can do that using the Layer Properties Manager. I'll click the Layer Properties button in the Layers panel of the Home ribbon to display the Layer Properties Manager palette. In the Layer Properties Manager, you can see that the line weight currently assigned to layer 0 is set to what is known as the default. If I click on the line weight, the program displays the line weight dialog, which shows all of the possible line weights. I can now assign a different line weight to the layer by choosing it in the list. Notice that the line weights are currently being displayed in millimeters. This can also be switched to display in inches. I'll select a line weight of 0.5 millimeters for layer 0 and then click OK. Notice that the line weight has now been assigned to layer 0, but we don't see any change in the drawing. That's because there's one additional step in order for the line weight to appear in the drawing. Down here in the status bar, we have to click the Show Hide Line Weight button. By default, this is toggled off. Once I toggle it on, notice that we can now see the line weight applied to the upper line in the drawing. Remember, the upper line has its line weight set to ByLayer. The lower line has its line weight set to an explicit value. Remember that for objects that have their line weight property set to ByLayer, if you change the line weight for the layer on which the object is created, the object will change. But for objects that have their line weight property set to any value other than ByLayer, they will retain their explicit line weight value regardless of the line weight you assign to the layer. If I click the Show Hide Line Weight button again, the lines no longer display with a line weight. Click on it again, and now you can see the line weight. So this is a simple toggle, a switch that I can toggle on and off. If I right-click on this button and choose Settings from the shortcut menu, I can change the line weight settings. Notice that in this dialog box, I can switch between millimeters and inches for the display of the line weight values. This checkbox duplicates the status bar button for turning the display of line weight on and off. The default drop-down lets us control the line weight used when a layer is set to use the default line weight. And this slider lets us adjust the thickness of the line weight that displays when working in model space. When you print or plot the drawing, the line weight will print at the exact width that you specify, measured in either inches or millimeters. But when working in model space, if you were to zoom way out to the drawing extents, the lines might appear so small on the screen that you wouldn't be able to see that the lines actually have line weight, even when the display of line weight is toggled on. So by increasing or decreasing the display setting by moving this slider, you can change the thickness used to display line weight while working in model space. Notice that as I zoom in and out in model space, the line weight display doesn't change. If I go back and adjust the slider, I can make the line appear thicker while working in model space. But once I make the line appear thicker, it will remain at that same line weight regardless of how I change the magnification in model space. Again, this does not affect the way the objects will print. It simply changes the way objects appear while working in model space to help you distinguish which objects have line weight.